morning it was raining pretty good. Good, hard, steady drizzle. I got up about 4:30 and it was already raining. 6 o'clock, it was a good steady drizzle, and it didn't really kind of burn off till about 8 o'clock. And we're just off the full moon, so the bite was going to be in the middle of the day. It's just getting a late start because they probably fed aggressive ahead of that rain, that front coming through. Oh yeah, unless it's a tree. Feels like a tree. We're in a place where something could feel like a tree.
Absolutely.
We'll get this little dude back in the water and let you get a closer look at him. Little healthy fish. Pulled like a freight train. He pulled a lot bigger than he was. There's a lot of dead trees out here, and there's some of them that have this stuff growing on them. They're kind of greener. And so I flipped that jig up there. They call it the cypress slide where I'm from, where you kick it up on these cypress trees and let it slide down the trunk, and a lot of times it never makes it to the bottom, and that's what happened right there. I pitched that jig up against the tree.
There he is.
It's a better fish.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the pattern is stay within casting distance of the lodge.
Yeah.
I think that's the key. My name's Chad Meredith, live in Nashville, Tennessee. Pretty much grew up in the outdoors, grew up fishing. Grandfather took me, father took me, friends of my dad's took me. Not long ago, probably about 6 months ago, ran into Chad at the shop and making the transition out of a big bass boat, big engines, that sort of thing. So decided why not try a kayak, and I've pretty much been hooked ever since. There's a lot of things with the kayak that you don't realize. It's you get in places kind of like this that you could never take a big bass boat. It's really opened a lot of doors. Really fantastic bodies of water. Allows you to catch a lot of big fish that never see a lure. So I hope everybody gets a chance to try it. Check it out.
Healthy fish. Luther's got another one. You know, I'll be the first to admit that I'm really blessed. I get to fish some pretty awesome places. You know, and we also get to fish in some places that we just make awesome places by being able to get to places you can't get with a boat. But you know, after the season we had last year with several really big bass, it puts the pressure on you, especially when you go to places that have trophy potential, to try to catch that big slob, like the one we caught down in Mossy Oak, like the ones we caught at VIP, and several of the big fish that we caught last year. Don't throw that hook. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Whoa, holy cow. You know, even if you go to the best place on earth to fish for trophy fish, there's no script that you get to mail ahead. It's still fishing, and big fish are tough to catch. So there's 3 really skilled anglers out here today grinding it out. It's 3 o'clock. We've got 1 fish over 5 pounds, but that magic can happen anytime. So we're gonna keep grinding, trying to bang out that big girl.
Stay tuned as Luther and the Chads prepare for the magic hour, when the big bass are known to start biting.
Holy crap.
Welcome back to Wilderness Systems Kayak Bassin. This week, Chad Hoover has taken his hunt for trophy bass to the private lakes of Deer Creek Lodge in Sebree, Kentucky. Filled with both standing and fallen wood, the lake the guys are on is ideal for kayaks, and the guys have high hopes of hooking a hog.
It's starting to smell like big fish over here. This isn't indicative of it, but I can smell them. Trying to see if he had a bigger heart than normal. He sure fought like it. You know, I have to say thanks to all the folks that send me emails telling me that they've got a great place to fish and inviting me to come fish with them so that they can be a guest on Kayak Bassin TV. But I have to be honest with you, as big as I am, it's hard to make big fish look big. And so one of the criteria to be a guest on Kayak Bassin that's exemplified by today's guest, Chad Meredith, is that you just got to be a tiny person. That way when we catch a 3-4 pound fish, we can hand it to him, and on camera it looks like a monster. Hey Chad, come hold this fish so it'll look big.
I can't take this.
So if you're looking to become a guest on Kayak Bassin TV, and you have to have a stool to make coffee in the morning, if you're out of work from the circus, or if you're a model for Garanimals or Oshkosh or something like that, then give us a shout and we'll try to get you on the show.
Nice to catch a decent one finally after all the little ones. Culling through a bunch of little ones, I guess. Maybe it's about to turn on.
The lodges are both gorgeous. Both the Lakeside Lodge where we've been staying and the Wing Shooting Lodge where we went to have dinner last night are unbelievable. I mean, total 5-star. The service is unbelievable.
Welcome back to Wilderness Systems Kayak Bassin. This week, Chad's at Deer Creek Lodge in Sebree, Kentucky. With evening rapidly approaching, the guys are hoping the time is right for the big bass to start biting.
It's a little better fish. Right in the corner of the mouth. So, second cast with this Taylor Mann's custom bait, spinner bait, and caught the best fish I've caught today. The cool thing about this spinner bait is the upper blade is a lot flatter than most spinner bait blades that you see, which causes it to have a wide arc. And when that arm is, swinging wide like that, these little blades right here are actually doing a little scissor motion. So it's creating a lot of flash. I've seen a few fish swirl on the top, and I said, well, looks like they're chasing shad. So let me tie on something that looks like a little school of shad. It's not quite the Alabama rig concept where you're throwing a bunch of baits, but it is mimicking a small school of shad. Second cast, fish on. We're gonna see if we can find a hog on the Taylor Mann's custom bait, spinner bait. Stay on. Stay on. Pull and drag. Oh yeah. Well, there he is. Best fish of the day. For me at least. Let me see what he gets the boga down to. Just a touch over 6 pounds. That's a fatty. Good Kentucky bass. See that, Luther? That's how that dorsal upfin button works right there. Just pops it right up. We're gonna get this big girl back in the water. Try to catch her older sister, who's been sitting on the couch a little bit longer. So ate a few more Cheetos. Has some ho-hos hid in the nightstand next to her bed.
Look at the mouth on this fish. What a beautiful bass. Definitely a bucket mouth.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, it is going absolutely crazy. Everybody's hooking up. Just as the sun drops below the treetop, everything goes nuts. And you want to be everywhere at one time. It's like you're a 2-ton kid in a room full of lollipops and you're trying to do everything simultaneously. You want to throw the top water, you want to guarantee a hookup, throwing the spinner bait. I just absolutely love this time of year. Being in a deer stand as the sun's going down and the woods come alive, being on the water, throwing that top water, watching that fish blow up like 6 inches from the boat. Oh, I love this time of year. Oh man, he's in a tree. Come on over here. Come on over here. Get over here. Get over that tree limb. Come get your butt in this leverage. Ah, it's not as big as I thought it was because of the tree limb. Solid fish. Man, they are thumping that Taylor Mann's custom spinner bait. So yesterday I had the opportunity to fish with Luther and Chad Meredith, and my business partner at Hook One is Chris Stewart. Chris called me and asked me what I was doing this weekend as far as filming. Will we be anywhere in the area that the kids had a little fall break thing going on, and Zane wanted to do some fishing. And so I had Austin with me. Chris jumped in the truck, headed up last night, and today we're just basically spending about half a day on the water with our sons, with Austin and Zane. Calm down, dude. Well, we haven't found the big fish yet, but the bite's been pretty consistent this morning, and the fish are starting to put on a little bit of a punch, so they're definitely feeding, which is sometimes a struggle when you're fishing the morning of a full moon. Feeding time's later up in the day. This dude hit it as soon as it went in the tree. I don't know if he's still on or not. He's a giant. You know, I talk a lot about getting kids hooked on the outdoors, but I think what Zane Stewart demonstrates is not exactly what I was talking about. All right, so if you get a kid with a hook in them, the absolute first thing that you have to do, which is why I always have split ring pliers in my PFD, just in general, even if you're just fishing by yourself, is to get the lure off. Because trying to remove the lure, or trying to drive yourself to the hospital, or trying to do whatever with the lure dangling off of you with more treble hooks is next to impossible. So what you want to do is you need to get this little loop down as close as you possibly can, and then you want to let go of the hook and kind of loosen your foot up. Don't flex so it doesn't. And then you need to figure out which way the hook is pointed. And then once you figure out which way the hook is pointed, you have to press down on it. And so when you press down on it, you press down and away from the fleshy part of the body. And then once you do that, you get a good hold of it. And that's how you do it. Now, if you are a kayak fisherman, if you're a fisherman, if you take your kids fishing, invest the time in learning how to remove a hook. Because if you fish with pointy hooks, it's not if you're going to get hooked, it's when. So take the time, be prepared, have your little line that you jerk the hook out with in your vest, carry a pair of split ring pliers with you. It's about $3.50 worth of insurance that you don't have to try to drive home with a hook in your foot, or try to walk to the lodge, or try to, make it to the truck. So invest a little time in learning how to do this hook removal technique, and it'll take a situation like this that could have been nasty, make it as simple as now taking them up to the lodge, putting a Band-Aid on it, and giving them a popsicle. So I'll hold on to this.